Hello and welcome to Race Tech Radio. Race Tech Radio is a weekly podcast based on racing and technology news. I'm your host, Justin Ritchie, and alongside me is Yannick Martin. You can read all the stories we covered today at racetechradio.com. Today is a special episode.
Slightly, yes.
You could call it slightly special.
We have a special part.
Yes, half of it special. The rest, give or take.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the IRL schedule and drivers and all the rest. Pretty much our Formula 1 sort of coverage, but a little less because IRL isn't as much in the spotlight.
No, but it's great though.
Yes, it is great. It's great. It is a great. Alright, so on to Formula 1. Formula 1 will be a little different from our A1GP results as we did earlier in the show. Because A1GP was only viewable by one of us, and it didn't capture our interest as much as Formula 1. So we kind of just wrapped up who won, who did the fastest lap, where this will actually be involved. I wouldn't say we analyze the race, but we talk more about it.
Yes,
right?
And give our little opinions and stuff as such.
Yes, opinions are always useful.
Of course.
So, on to qualification.
Mm-hmm.
So, in first, we have Kimi Räikkönen. I think we'll just go down the list. I won't say 2 and 3. So anyways, second, Fernando Alonso. Third, Nick Heidfeld in the BMW.
Great qualifications for the BMW, really. I'm amazed to see them both in the top 5.
Yeah. After that is Lewis Hamilton. And then again, in fifth, is Robert Kubica in the BMW.
Surprising.
Very impressive qualification by the BMW team.
Mm-hmm.
As too with the McLarens.
Yep.
Should anything happen to those people? Not really. Hamilton went off a little in qualification. Didn't go off too far, though. Then we have Giancarlo Fisichella in 6th. Mark Webber in 7th, which was somewhat a surprise.
Yeah.
It wasn't shocking.
It was okay.
But it was decent for a Red Bull. Jarno Trulli and Ralf Schumacher, back-to-back in 8th and 9th. Takuma Sato in 10th, and Anthony Davidson in 11th.
Probably the surprise of the weekend, really, to see both Super Agüeri's 10th and 11th, way ahead of the Hondas.
Brilliant. The Hondas, I'm very disappointed with.
Everything's disappointing over them this season.
Yes. Nico Rosberg in 12th. Heikki Kovalainen, rookie, of course.
Uh-huh.
Renault, a little far away from Giancarlo, but he is in the top 15. So,
Yeah.
Jenson Button in 14th. That bastard. He did, in Hungary, he did take the first place, I guess you would call it, the podium, the win.
His only win.
Yes, his first, not his only, his only so far. He did start from 14th then, but there were some very strange occurrences that race, which unfortunately didn't happen this one. In 15th, Alex Wurz. Yeah, well, I say Wurz. Felipe Massa. 16th. But
what happened to him?
What happened to him was, I can't remember what corner it is, but that one sweeping turn where they go over that little bit, it's like a little island, and then they continue going left. He hit that too hard, and the gearbox is really fragile on the new Ferrari.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much his gearbox just died, and he just coasted down the straight, I guess. And what was funny was Button let him pass, and Button is a fool for doing that because he had to do his own fast lap What was he doing letting him pass? That's ridiculous. Anyways, Felipe Massa unfortunately had to start last after an engine change. So he started at the very last on the grid. And he finished pretty promising. There was one thing I wanted to say about Ferraris. I totally forgot what it was, so I'm sorry. yeah, I'm pretty. I don't remember what I was gonna say.
Well, that doesn't matter, I guess.
It doesn't.
Moving on.
Felipe Massa. Then Rubens Barrichello
17th.
in the second Honda in 17th.
More disappointment.
Yes, very much so. Scott Speed in 18th. Not a surprise. David Coulthard in 19th.
That's kind of... We wouldn't see him 19th usually.
Yeah, average for him.
No.
Liuzzi in 20th.
Mm.
Adrian Sittel in 21st. And Christian Albers in 22nd. So Spiker in the back row for their pretty much their first Grand Prix as the Spiker. Not too surprising.
No.
Still, the shock of qualifying was definitely the Toyota. I mean, the Super Aguri.
Of course.
So, that is all for the qualifications. That's how the grid looked. And when they went off the grid, there were a few problems. First off, Truly had a burst of smoke when they were going to do their their warm-up run. And also, Christian Albers. Was it not Christian Albers that stalled? Or was it Anthony Davidson? I don't recall. One of them stalled on the grid, but luckily got it started, and they went on with their lap. So that was good. Alright, so now we will go on with the finishing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Grand Prix results.
Grand Prix. First was Kimi Räikkönen.
Yes.
Bulletproof.
Bulletproof all the way. He started first, moved away quickly, and we did not see or hear from him during the whole race, basically.
The only problem was he locked up the front right tire, and he claimed that he was thinking of something else.
Really?
So, I wonder what he was thinking about.
It's not really the time to think about something else when you're driving in F1.
Yeah, that's true. Second is Fernando Alonso in the McLaren.
Yes.
7 seconds behind Kimi Räikkönen. I know about the second lap. He was 2 seconds ahead of Lewis Hamilton, who was in second at the time. Kimi pulled away pretty damn fast.
Yeah.
In third, Lewis Hamilton.
Mm-hmm. Great finish. Great race also by him. I love that.
Yeah, only ran wide a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
And very young.
Yes.
And British.
Very British.
Well, I'm trying to... Go ahead, do your little fact thing.
Yes, funny facts or fun facts or whatever. Anyways, first best result from from a rookie since 1996, being Liveries, we all know. And best British rookie since something like 1966 or something.
Yeah. It was funny because David Hobbs, he compared him to the Tiger Woods. What Tiger Woods did for golf is what he will do for Formula 1. And he said he's very smart, he's very calm, and then he said he's very, very... and he had this pause. And I swear he was going to say black. And I was like, don't do it, Hobbs, don't do it. But he didn't. So
what did he say?
I don't remember. He's a very, very something.
Well,
very
he is the first, I'd say, black F1 driver. That is a
Yeah.
fact.
Now, you had a conspiracy theory here
I
with the
did.
Lewis Hamilton Fernando Alonso pit stop arrangements.
Yeah, well, Lewis Hamilton was in front of Alonso for a major part of the race, but at the last pit stop, Hamilton went to the pits 2 laps before Alonso, and even though Hamilton had a great his pit stop, well, Alonso came in 2 laps after that, and Alonso's pit stop was 2 seconds faster than Hamilton. Now that's okay, but for a 2 lap difference, there is a very huge time gap between the 2 stops. But I think, well, I don't want to say too much here, but I mean,
He didn't need as much fuel.
No, but 2 laps isn't a lot.
But that's not 4 seconds.
I mean, it's just, I think I would be disappointed if McLaren tried to put Alonso in front that way. That's what I mean. Like they cut a bit, or either they cut on Alonso's pit stop or they lengthened Hamilton's pit stop in order to let Alonso pass in front of Hamilton.
And you think that's because Fernando Alonso has a better chance of being the 3rd-time reigning champion than Lewis Hamilton does being the first season of his... I can see that.
It would be disappointing if it would be.
It would. It has been outlawed that you cannot conduct your team in such a manner. But you never know. Alright. So, the next person who came in 4th
Nick Heidfeld.
is Nick Heidfeld. Nick Heidfeld. BMW
Great race for
4th.
the BMWs. Great qualifying, great racing. It's unfortunate for Kubica that who had to retire a few laps in. Gearbox problems, I think, right?
Yes. What happened with... see, my notes are very scattered. I do not recall what happened to him.
Kubica just started driving very slowly and headed into the pits, and his race was over.
Yeah, I believe that's all. Yeah.
Gearbox.
Anyways, that's a shame for Kubica, but Nick Heidfeld, good finish. Good finish. Getting BMW in the points early so they can do their mid-season fuck-ups once again. In 5th, Giancarlo Fisichella for Renault. 5th for a Renault without Mr. Alonso.
Oh, let's say the Renaults are rather disappointing this year. Bad start.
Bad start, yes, that's for sure. And while we're on starts, Lewis Hamilton, he rocketed up. He actually started in the right lane, I believe, behind the... I don't know. Anyways, he came onto the right side of the BMW and ended up going around him on the left side and just rocketed right past Alonso as well. It was a perfect finish for him. I mean, start. Very confuffled today.
Of course.
In 6th is Felipe Massa.
Yes, great
start.
Well, it made me think of the Schumacher days again.
Is that what it made you think of?
Yes, Ferrari starts in the back and still gets up very in front.
Yeah, well...
He almost finished 5th.
You know what? He would have finished probably 4th if he wasn't held up by Button and Barrichello. He was trapped behind them for a good amount of time. And speaking of that, Button wouldn't let Barrichello by. Button was very slow today.
Yeah.
And but Barrichello had the speed, and once he passed Button, he passed him all right. He got a fair bit ahead.
He disappeared in like 2 corners.
Disappeared, I tell you. I think Button was a little heavy on fuel, and if the team knew that, they should have instructed Button to, sit calm for a couple laps.
Or maybe just Button sucks.
Okay, see, why do you have to pull that out of... He does not suck, alright?
The guy
he
is
was heavy on
overrated.
fuel. And I will tell you why Honda's having a problem. Their braking is not too good right now. They're still working out the braking problems with these tires. So that is word from the horse's mouth on why they are the shit so far. Where were we? Number 7.
Yes.
Nico Rosberg. Is that correct? 7th.
Yes.
Not too much to say.
No.
That's the beginning of the people that were lapped. So only 6 people finished on the lead lap, which is a little confusing because Felipe Massa was lapped by Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah, but I think he probably took it back with the pit stops in some way or another. I guess.
Could be. It was very difficult to keep track of things. For this race, the director, I found, gave a lot of time for the Hondas.
A lot. Too much, I say.
That may be because of Felipe Massa being right behind him. Could be. Not much time for Super Aguri. Not a whole lot. But again, with Honda, Rubens, while he was trying to get around Jensen, he actually ran wide into a wall. And could have knocked his suspension out of line, but luckily he didn't. So we're thankful for that. Anyways, next person was
Ralf Schumacher.
Not too much to talk about him.
No, not really. They're
But Jarno Trulli,
right behind
on
him.
the other hand. Jarno Trulli, during the qualification, he came out of the pits with the rear jack underneath the car. And people were signaling him at the pit wall, telling him to stop. And he continued to go until the jack actually fell off. And that caused a local yellow, I believe. And the word is that he got a €2,000 fine for that. Because I am sure he had plenty of time to stop. He just thought he could shake it off. So
Yeah.
that's too bad. Also, did you see? Yeah, never mind.
Did I see what?
The Renault mid wings on the nose,
Oh.
they're
Huge.
flared out. Yeah, they're crazy looking. So, anyways, I don't know these notes. I don't know. It's too
All
difficult.
mixed up, I guess.
Yeah, all mixed up.
10th position on the race was Heikki Kovalainen from Renault. Almost disappointing race for him, I find.
I would say for sure he spent a lot of time off the track. He did a little spin. That was nice. It was very impressive how he corrected himself.
Yeah.
Very anorexic pillow-esque. I don't know. It's not as he wasn't as good as Lewis Hamilton on his debut race.
No.
But neither was his team.
No, not Toyota, but Renault is rather slightly disappointing this weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Alright. So, the next person on the grid for what place is that?
11th.
Rubens Barrichello, who started in 16th, so he made up 5 positions. Not too bad for him.
No.
But unfortunate that Button didn't let him pass earlier, so he could have maybe got 9th, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's about it for Honda. Next person, of course, is Takuma Sato in the Super Aguri.
So the Super Aguris have been very surprising this week, and they've just been racing well. Great qualifying, good race. Not much to say, really.
Not much to say at all, really.
Except that they went well.
Oh, go ahead.
They went well. That's what I said.
Oh, they went well. Right. yeah, that's about all you can say for them. Mark Webber in 13th.
Mm-hmm.
Liuzzi in 14th. Jensen Button, oh man, 15th.
Yes.
One back from where he started on the grid. Let's just hope it's his problem with the braking, and that everything will be just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing is, Jensen Button did in fact get a drive-through penalty because he went through the pits
Too fast.
too fast. Because the pits, as we all know, have a little slower, I believe 30 clicks slower speed limit this
Well, they
year.
went down from 100 to 80 kilometers an hour.
So there has been speculation that Honda forgot to preset his steering wheel to go through the pits at that speed limit. But who knows? Yeah, that's about it. Anthony Davidson for Super Aguri came in 16th,
Yep.
where they belong. But Anthony Davidson did not have a good race because he was in fact the person that stalled on the grid.
Yeah.
Yes he did. Man, this is very difficult to read my notes at the same time. Alright, Adrian Sittel. He is the last person to come in that wasn't retired, so that's in 17th. And he actually got a stop and go for holding up Lewis Hamilton earlier in the race. So that could have contributed, but I doubt by much. Scott Speed, he was retired for wheels. What happened was when he was driving, his tires deflated.
Shouldn't they call that tires then?
I'm not sure. I would think so. Wheels. All right.
Flat or something.
Flat. Something.
Didn't they use that kind of thing before, like flat or tire burst or whatever?
I think wheel was the I'm not sure.
Wheel just sounds bad.
Yeah, it does. Christian Albers accident.
Yes.
He kind of forgot to turn, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he? Was he thinking of something else too?
He was in fact thinking of something else. He was thinking about his ears. He was fixing his ears, his earplugs. So, pretty much on the 11th lap, Albers just decided not to turn and drove right into the wall. And in Australia, there's not a lot of runoff area. So, that's about it for him. The next two retires were Alex Wurz and David Coulthard.
Yes.
That was an interesting retire for those two.
A crash.
A crash, you could call it, yeah. An accident on one person's behalf, that's for sure. David Coulthard decided to, I guess, dive in from the brake line into Wurz, which was already halfway around the corner. So he pretty much hit him. I don't know how you would explain it. Kind of like T-boned him.
He tried to pass him at the brake point, like into the turn, by taking the inside, but first thing, Coulthard came in with too much speed, and second thing, Wurz was already into the turn, so Wurz couldn't leave him like space to take the inside, so he simply T-boned him, like you said.
Yeah.
Went over him.
Wurz is a very good driver.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have known someone was going to try and pass, he would have left room. But even so, what was Coulthard doing? So pretty much Coulthard ended up skidding across Wurz's hood Actually clipping the
wheel.
Yes, the steering wheel. And luckily, Wurs removed his hands from the steering wheel, or else he would have some broken fingers.
Of course. The car is basically... Wurz could have been injured on there, because the car passed like 4 inches from his helmet. So.
Wurs did break, and that's good, because the car slid off the front instead of guillotining his head off if he would have continued accelerating.
Yes. It was a good sport at the end when he tried to move he moved his car off the track after
They
that.
shook hands. Coulthard landed in the sand pit and got out, and Wurs went to the next corner and turned off. So, that's about it for that. Now, one thing was, what I didn't like was, at the finish of the race, instead of parking the cars outside and then jumping out, they actually drove them into a garage, and then they got out and went and saw the crowd. I don't understand why they're doing that.
No, same here. I don't understand. I find it... I don't like it. It's better when you're in the car, you bring the car to the crowd, and you jump out into the crowd and all.
Yes, and you dance on the hood, and yes, that's what it's about. Why are they parking them in there? I don't know. We will have to see if that's just a one-time thing, or if it's a reoccurring thing throughout this 2007 season.
Yes.
We will definitely have to see. So that's all the notes I took. Very scattered today. Very scattered. But that's alright, because next time I will take my notes a little better and align them with the positions. Yes, that's about it for that, don't you say?
Yes, sir.
It was a good race.
Good race. Just not the best. I've seen more entertaining ones last year.
Yes,
I've seen more entertaining Australia races, really. I don't know. Not much to say about it, really.
I gotta say one thing about ESPN. I watched ESPN, or TSN, as they call it in Canada. I watched the TSN qualifying, and then right after that I watched the speed qualifying. And I'm rather disappointed with ESPN. They're boring, frankly. They don't get excited about anything, and it's kind of annoying. Because, for example, Felipe Massa, when he took out his gearbox and slowed down and pretty much was idling on the straight and couldn't do anything, they continued to talk about what they were talking about. And then, when they were finished talking about that, they said, oh, and Felipe Massa seems to have come to a stop. I think it's a gearbox problem. Unlike speed, where they went, holy crap, Felipe Massa just went over that bump, and I believe it took out the transmission, and yada yada yada. All excited and it was a lot more entertaining and news breaking. They didn't seem like that was big information. Yeah, I don't know. That just seemed odd. I don't know. I still don't really like TSN. They've showed nothing but basketball.
Well, it is the March Madness.
It is the March Madness, but their tennis schedule is so messed up. They say they're gonna show all the matches, but they only show them like half of them. And what I really hate is they're showing them at midnight. Why are they showing them in midnight? The competition is in California, same time zone. What? Why do you have to show them at midnight? Anyways, by the way, on a tennis note, Nadal has won, right? And he won against Novak in straight sets. So, fascinating. It's a shame that Federer didn't stick around for the whole competition, because Nadal versus Federer would be very interesting. And it looks like Nadal is pretty hot right now, and it probably will be until Wimbledon, until Federer takes his lead back. So, that's all for that. Just to go off on a little tangent. Alright,
yes.
So, Now it is time.
Time for the IndyCar part special, I guess. You could
Yes,
say.
you could call it that.
Little part of the show where we talk about the IndyCar series, because there is already the first race this weekend.
Yes, it is. The 23rd, I believe? 4th. 3rd, 4th.
23rd is Friday. I think
Yes.
it's the 24th.
You think so?
Yes, well,
Right.
we're gonna, let me check the calendar.
Yes.
That would be a good idea. 24th on Saturday.
Alright.
Yes. That's good. I don't even know if I'm gonna get it though.
What? Really?
Well, it's on ESPN 2. I doubt they're gonna show it on TSN.
I saw an advertisement for it today on TSN.
Really?
Yeah.
But it
she
won't
actually
be live though.
she actually talked about it on SportsCenter. By the way, I've had my TV on TSN for a long time because this whole week has been tennis and next week is all tennis. They play SportsCenter a lot.
Yeah.
Like they play it 6 times in a row in the night. That is ridiculous. They can be playing so much better stuff, and I hate SportsCenter. Man, such problems with this channel. Anyways, it is the XM Satellite Indy 300 this week.
At Homestead, Miami.
At Homestead, yes. Alright, so, are we going to do the schedule first, or the cars and teams?
Well, we could do the schedule since we seem to have already started.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So the next race?
The next race on the list is the Honda Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Sometimes get a good race, but it's in the street, directly in the city. So that's on April 1st.
Long straights.
Yes. So Sunday, April 1st on ESPN. So it's in the afternoon, so that's going to be easy to catch.
Yeah.
April 1st. Let's just hope no April Fool's on there.
100 laps.
Yes.
That's good. That's good to
180 miles. Next on the list, do you have the calendar or what?
I do, in fact, and that's the Indy Japan 300. And that's
Yes.
Motegi.
The twin ring Motegi, or whatever way we're supposed to pronounce that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It
On
is
Saturday, April
200
21st.
laps.
Yes, 200 laps. Well, 300 miles, so it's something like a mile and a third or something, I guess.
Something like that.
Last year's winner was Helio Castroneves. It's the only race outside of the United States.
Yeah, I don't know. They have to get more international
Yes.
locations, especially and Champ Car. They're the Champ Car World Series. They don't go out of the nation all too often. Anyways, the next race is the Kansas Speedway.
Yes, in Kansas. On Sunday, April 29th. Another 200 laps, or 300 miles, if you want to say it. On ESPN2 as well.
ESPN2.
Many ovals, but a few more road courses this year, though.
That's good to see. Hopefully bring more people to the sport. But see, that's the problem with America. You never really know if they like ovals or if they want road courses. Because NASCAR is so popular, yet they do so many ovals, but everyone I talk to hates ovals. So, I don't know.
Yeah, well, ever since the kart split up into Champ Car and IndyCar, basically Champ Car took the road courses and IndyCar took the ovals. But now, since they're really distinguishing themselves as two independent things, IndyCar trying to catch back more road courses.
Yeah, makes sense. Would like to see more.
Anyways, on Sunday, May 27th, which is actually the same day as Monaco Grand Prix in F1,
Ah.
So 2 races the same day. Birthday presents for myself, of course. Sunday, May 27th, as I said, the Indianapolis 500.
Indianapolis 500.
Legendary.
Last year's winner, Sam Hornish Jr.
By a few inches, barely. One of the closest finishes in Indianapolis and Indy racing history.
Very nice finish, of course,
Yes.
and that is 200 laps, and it'll be on at noon on ABC.
Everyone should be able to get it. If not, well, there is a little problem.
Well, I'm sure it will be all over the torrent site soon enough,
Of course.
so it will not be a problem.
Race 6 of 17th is the ABC Supply Co. AG4 225, or in other words, the Milwaukee race.
The Milwaukee Mile.
Yes. 225 laps for a total of 225 miles, obviously.
Yep.
Last year's winner, Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan. And that will be at 3:30 p.m. on ABC once again.
Yes, if ever we are saying the times as we are doing right now, those are obviously Eastern
Yes,
time.
Eastern. And they are subject to change in case of
Obviously.
rain out or something like that.
Yes. Next race is the Bombardier Learjet 550. Why is there a K? I have no idea.
I'm not sure. That's kilometers possibly.
Maybe
500
342 miles. So let me make the conversion while you say the rest.
Yes. So that will be on Saturday, June 9th in Texas, our favorite place to go. And last year's winner was, of course, Elio Castroneves, and that will be 228 laps. And on television, you can catch it at 10 p.m. on ESPN2.
Yes, and that looks about like 500 kilometers. So
Really?
that
All right.
probably is the explanation. But I don't think they use kilometers in Texas, so I don't really see the point.
I think Texas is as American as you can get.
Exactly.
And they're not adopting the metric system anytime soon.
Oh, no.
So the next race is the Iowa Corn Indy 250.
Very nice name.
Yes, very unique names. I think that's as in the corn nuts.
Probably.
And that's on Sunday, June the 24th in Iowa, of course. And that will be 250 laps at 1 p.m. on ABC.
Yes, it's one of the shortest tracks, I guess, not even a mile.
Very short.
Mm-hmm.
Almost a
Always
perfect
fun.
oval.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yes. All right. Well, the next race.
The next race is the SunTrust Indy Challenge in Richmond. So it's basically the Richmond track. Very small track, too. I think it's the smallest one, the smallest oval over there. 250 laps for a total of 107.5 miles. That will be on Saturday, June 30th.
7:30 p.m. on ESPN.
Yes.
ESPN covers a lot of these.
Yeah.
I
that's
really
funny.
wish Speed would pick up a contract for this.
I'd prefer it being ABC for every
Well, I know
race.
you would.
Because I
Yeah,
take it.
that's true. That's true. I would like
'Cause
one
ABC
station.
is really, it's not a specialized channel like Speed and ESPN are. It's really available national TV and available for everyone. So it would definitely, if having ABC present all the races, would probably bring Indy racing to more popular and more people, more bigger audience.
Makes sense. Speed has a lot of advertisements, but they do have David Hobbs.
Yes.
And as long
Well-
as they have him.
Ouch.
David Hobbs probably wouldn't do the commentating for that, but
Probably not.
Anyways, the next race is the Watkins Glen Indy Grand Prix.
Yes, the legendary Watkins Glen track.
Yeah, lots of controversy last year
Mm-hmm.
with Mr. Ed Cheaper.
You're always there to spice things up.
Yeah, this year he doesn't seem to be submitted into.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, he may end up filing later. So that will be on Sunday, July 8th. July being a very packed month for racing.
Mm-hmm.
That will be 60 laps, and that's about 204 miles. Last year winner is Scott Dixon.
Yes, he had a great race last year on Watkins Glen. And thankfully this race is going to be on ABC.
ABC at 3:30 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Next race on the list is the Firestone Indy 200 at the Nashville Super Speedway on July 14th.
July 14th.
Yes, 200 laps, so 266 miles, presented on ESPN at 7:30.
A little bit of a late race.
Yes. I think it's a night race, really, when you think of it.
Well, in Ohio.
A dawn race or whatever.
Yeah.
Ohio?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, if you watch it from Ohio. I don't know. All right. Speaking of Ohio, Mid-Ohio at the Honda 200.
New edition, I think, this year, right? I believe so.
Yeah, I believe so.
The track
Mid-Ohio.
looks like
yeah,
a
it looks
sports car
like
course. The track looks interesting, really.
Mid-Ohio, a lot of controversy. You remember the Aston Martin that flew 444 feet. That was because it was repaved, and he got a fair bit of air there. Also,
Really?
Joey Hand, his crash was there. Watkins Glen.
Oh, so that was the track.
I like Mid-Ohio. Very
Yes.
fun track. So anyways, that is on July 22nd. And that is 85 laps, which is about 191 miles. And that will be on ABC, your favorite, at about 1:30.
Next race on the list is in the Michigan Indy 400 at the Michigan International Speedway on August 5th. 200 laps or 400 miles, presented at noon on ESPN2.
Now, last year, you were able to watch it online, were you not?
I think that was the one. Was it Michigan or Kentucky?
I think it was. I'm not sure.
But
But
I can't remember.
you may be able to watch this online somehow. We're not sure how.
Yeah. Let's hope they're going to put that this year again. That would be
Yeah.
nice.
That was
really
good.
Good thing.
Yeah. Anyways.
Next one is Kentucky.
Did we even did we talk about it? I don't know.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Well, was it the Michigan or the Kentucky race last year that was superb? I think it was the Michigan race. Yeah. Wait.
I think it may have. I'm not sure. I have no idea.
I know there's this YouTube clip that I just can't get enough of watching because the dude, the race was simply awesome.
It was a very nice looking race, that's for sure.
IndyCar.
Anyways, well, he's talking about that. Kentucky Indy 300 on Saturday, August 11th. Previous winner was Sam Hornish Jr. This will be at 6:30 p.m. on ESPN2, and they'll be doing about 200 laps. So, also you can catch all these on XM Satellite.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, also Sirius.
Yes. It is Michigan.
It was Michigan.
Yeah. It was after a yellow, I think. All the cars were packed together. So close racing and such great racing. Last year it was in July. So, anyways, there's a great clip for it on YouTube. First result, if you type IndyCar, Michigan, it's a good 16 minutes of just great action.
Great action. The next race is...
Next race is, which one were we at now? Is it Infineon?
That's the one.
Yes, the Indy Grand Prix of Sonoma at the Infineon, I forget how they call it, the Infineon Raceway or something like that, Super Speedway or whatever.
Something like that.
Yes, on August 26th, 80 laps, 184 miles at 3:30 p.m. on ESPN. Last year's winner, Marco Andretti.
Marco Andretti. And you can't credit all to him because it was his team which gave him that win.
Franchitti probably could have tried to push a bit more, maybe take the lead there, but they left it to the kid.
Yeah. Also, someone, I forgot who, but they accidentally spun out and caused a caution so he could get some fuel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a shame. Could be as rigged as NASCAR.
Possibly.
We'll talk about that later, though. There was some controversy with that earlier today. Anyways,
next race
desert
is
race. Very
what?
dry. Infineon.
What
Very
about
dry.
Infineon?
It's like a desert.
Well, it's in California.
Never mind. Keep going.
I don't get it.
I don't either. Anyways.
It is late, so...
It is. Sorry about this.
Next race is the new addition to the calendar this year. The Detroit Indy Grand Prix in the streets of Detroit. Really?
In the streets of Detroit.
Yes.
Sounds exciting, I think.
September 2nd on ABC, obviously.
Yep.
90 laps. So, good 90 laps of the Detroit streets. Should be...
We'll have to see that. That's a for sure watch.
Surely going to be interesting. Looking forward to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next race
else
is
to say.
the Chicagoland Indy 300.
Yes, in Joliet, Illinois.
Yeah. And that's on Sunday, September 9th. Don't forget it's on Sunday. Last year's winner was Dan Weldon.
Yes.
And they'll be doing about 200 laps, and that's at 3:30 p.m. on ABC.
Last year's Chicagoland race wasn't bad. It was good. We could see both target cars running side by side for quite a few laps. Good battles. Even though Dan Weldon won, we didn't see or hear about him because Sam Hornish won the championship there.
That's true. Stole the lightning, thunder, whatever
it's
called.
The magic.
But, yes, that was a good race.
Yes,
they were ahead for a good portion, and they sustained the lead for a long time. Anyways, so that's all for the schedule, I believe.
Yes, basically. So I guess off to the drivers and teams, I guess?
Off to the drivers and teams. So, for the first team...
let's go with Andretti Green Racing.
Andretti Green.
Still with 4 cars this year, right?
I believe so.
I'm trying to find the 4th one. There it is. 4 cars this year, almost the same drivers. So first on the list basically is Marco Andretti. Second rookie year. Basically the same car, the blue nice with a bit of red and white.
I can't stand that red. I have no idea why it's there.
It's not all that beautiful, really, but
not all that beautiful is correct.
It is recognizable, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the style, I guess.
Yeah, I would say so. Next up on the roster is Danica Patrick.
Yes, new addition to the team this year.
Totally revamped car.
Nice.
I like it.
Not bad.
I
not
like
bad.
it. The Motorola, I like it. Very feminine, though. That's alright. That's alright. But next car is...
Dario Franchitti was able to get another season with Andretti Green Racing.
That is awesome.
Basically, the car changed a bit. Canadian Club being the biggest sponsor this year compared to Klein Tools last year.
Yeah.
Canadian Club taking the whole thing. So the cars changed a bit. It's black with orange parts. So
Yeah.
orange lines and an orange air intake.
Yes,
I don't know. I'm starting to like the car.
Really?
Last year's car was really nice.
Oh, it was beautiful.
when we
Debatably
saw-
the best looking car
Oh,
on the
for
Indy
sure,
field.
with the gold and all. That was nice. But that when they introduced the new car this year, I wasn't sure. I didn't like it all that much. But
It's growing on you.
yes, like the Renault started growing on you.
Yeah, that's true. And by the way,
Mm-hmm.
quick note about Dario Franchitti. He won this weekend was the 12 Hours of Sebring, and Andretti Racing, as you all know, submitted to race in there with their Acura XM satellite car, and they did win. I believe they pulled a first and a second.
Mm-hmm.
And Dario Franchitti, I didn't look totally into it. I'm not sure who all the drivers were, but I'm pretty sure Dario Franchitti was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, the next
driver for the next and last driver for Andretti Green Racing is Tony Kanaan.
Tony Kanaan. Car
Thankfully,
has
with the
very
same
little
car.
changes.
No changes really. A few maybe little tiny sponsors on
Yeah.
the intake, but basically the same green car.
Good.
Nice car.
Hopefully they don't change anything next year either.
Nope. Michael Andretti thinking to come in for the Indy 500 again. So that would make a fifth car.
I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
Wouldn't be surprised at all. I don't know. Hopefully, hopefully Marco can win it this year, and then get on to his Formula One dreams to compete with Hamilton, Kubica, and Kovalainen. All right. So the next.
Next team, Team Penske. I guess we could
All right.
do that. Team Penske. First driver is Helio Castroneves, and the second driver is Sam Hornish Jr. Same drivers,
Yep.
basically. Basically the same liveries as well, because of the worldwide kind of cigarette banning thing.
Yeah.
They pretty much took the Marlboro sponsoring off, but kept the same skin. Their livery, I should say. Why did I say skin there?
I don't know. I say that too.
Even though it really recalls the Marlboro-like, and at the same time when Marlboro was there in F1 with McLaren's, all the same car. But, so it's instead of being written Marlboro Team Penske on the side, it is simply Team Penske.
And same goes for Ferrari in Formula
Yeah.
One. What was said was that Marlboro is still putting in a bunch of money into the team,
Mm-hmm.
but because of the ban, their name cannot be said. But there are still hints of the historic paint job to trigger people's memory.
Yeah, but didn't the FIA ban they banned the sponsoring, like a branding and thing, but didn't they ban the money supplying to?
That I do not know.
Because we know Marlboro is there. We know with the dashed lines we've been rather accustomed to being branding
over the years.
unbranded stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'm not sure, but I don't know.
anyways.
Next team.
Next team, Target.
All right.
Target Chip Ganassi Racing. Same drivers, Scott Dixon and Dan Weldon. Almost the same livery as well. A few
Just
minor
about.
changes. Just a few minor changes. Basically the same thing.
Hopefully these two teams aren't the only ones leading the pack.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see a little Andretti Green up there. I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
Because last year they were rather dominant.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully, some other people can lead a few laps, possibly.
Yes.
And not only when they're in the pits. Alright. So, next team.
Next team, Ray Hall Letterman Racing. This year having one car less than they had last year, basically with the leave of Danica Patrick. So they kind of decided to do their own thing this year. Completely. Well, one of their car has a new livery, basically.
Yeah, pretty much brand new.
Same old drivers though. Scott Sharp and Jeff Simmons.
Yep.
Scott Sharp driving in the new livery, really. With Tequila Patron brand being the major sponsor. Basically, the car is black with a bunch of flashy green stuff.
I like it.
I don't.
Really?
I find it like their goal was to make it very recognizable, but
Which it is.
it is. But I don't really attach to that. I don't like it really.
I don't mind it from the two-dimensional picture.
Yeah, that way it's not too bad. But when you see all the lines and stuff,
Yeah, that's true.
it's tough.
So, Jeff Simmons is driving the ethanol car.
Yes,
Which,
the same livery, basically.
Yes, and the whole Indy series
Is now
is
powered
switching
by
to
ethanol.
100%.
100% ethanol. So that's going to be looking forward to if going to help the series and stuff.
I don't know how much of a difference it's actually going to make, but it's an illusion of saving the planet. That's all that really matters.
A better one than Honda's plan.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand. Why is Honda in Formula One? It just makes no sense.
Of course not.
Right.
You
Next
choose the
team.
next team.
Next team, let's go with Vision Racing
Uh-huh.
with
3
AJ
cars.
Foyt.
3 cars this year. Addition of AJ Foyt, the 4th.
The 4th?
Yes. What do you
That's-
think Ivy is?
Yeah. Terrible cars.
Well,
They don't
I
look
prefer-
the same. For
they
one.
do.
Like
they-
last year, similar cars.
I prefer
you know?
these ones than last year's. I find they have a
I
better
didn't-
style, but I haven't seen any pictures of those on the track though. So
Me neither.
there's this thing about Indy because the liveries change a lot in the Indy racing.
Just
and
about every race.
almost, yes. So we're not sure if these liveries are going to be the full ones, the basic ones. For the big teams, probably they're going to stay pretty much the same. But many teams, we're not sure of the liveries quite yet, like Vision Racing. The ones presented to us on the Indy Racing site for now is basically some kind of a gray base with lines and a white like white ovals with surrounded by a certain color. Each driver having their own color. So basically following the same scheme as last year. Ed Carpenter with the blue linings, Thomas Scheckter with the red linings, and the new addition AJ Foyt with orange linings.
Orange.
Yes.
Alright.
Next team, Dreyer and Rainbow Racing, now with 2 cars this year. Buddy Rice with almost kind of similar colors. A little change in the livery, basically blue and white with striped with an orange line. New addition in their second car is Sarah Fisher,
Sarah Fisher.
who drove a few, like one or two races.
Yeah,
last
one or
year.
2 races. Unfortunate she didn't do very well,
No.
but she is competition for Danica Patrick this year,
Yes.
and hopefully it will bring the spotlight off of Danica a little.
Mm-hmm. And it's the same base livery as her teammate, but instead of being white, it is black. The orange line is still there, and instead of being blue, it is white.
Just a little different.
Of course. Next on the list, we will add, let's say, AJ Foyt Enterprises. So basically, it's something like the dad or the granddad of AJ Foyt, having a team in there, still there with 1 car, and Darren Manning driving for them this year. IndyCar presenting them with the same livery as last year, so no big change really.
Not a very pretty car at all.
No, not really.
But that doesn't really matter. They're going to be in the back anyways.
Exactly. Super Aguri Panther Racing still there this year.
Panasonic car.
Yes, the blue and reddish orange Panasonic car, Kasuke Matsura. Their affiliated team is not there anymore, really. Which was, I forget what it's called. So it had Fernandez in there.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
But
Not
the
a very
thing about this,
significant team.
no, but the difference about this, at Panther Racing, Vitor Mira, dropped his orange livery and basically took over the Fernandez livery. Basically the same livery as
Delphi.
Fernandez had last year. The black, white, black, yellow, and orange Delphi livery. So
that is a nice car.
It is. It's very nice. It has a good look. Might be a little confusing to some who are usually used to seeing Vitor Mira in an orange car. But hey. Gonna help them with the sponsors, I guess. Delphi being a bigger sponsor. And a big IRL sponsor as well. So that's pretty much it for him. And Marty Roth is still enlisted for this year at the IndyCar Series.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's gonna be doing a lot of races. Last year he participated in just a few. Could not qualify within the required times at most of the events. The guy is just slow. The only Canadian in the pack, though.
Only Canadian in the pack.
Yes. So Roth Racing, simply presented with a red car.
Not many sponsors.
Nope.
And that's understandable.
Oh, really?
Well, if you're only racing, how many races out of...
Yeah, why sponsor a car that won't be viewed?
Yeah, that's true.
Cheever's not there this year.
Cheever is not there this year. He dropped out last year because of no sponsors, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he would come back when he had the proper funding, and he is yet to come back.
Yes.
Some people are happy about that.
Yes.
Some more than others.
I don't know, man. Last year, he caused a lot of trouble.
A lot. Tons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same old bullshit. So, I don't know. Maybe it's best to just, pick a different profession. If you can't see someone that is right beside you, and you accidentally run them off the road, and you say you couldn't see them, I don't think driving is your chosen path.
A lot of controversy around Mr. Cheever.
Yes. Alright. Well, I guess that's all for Indy Racing.
Yes, it is.
Not a whole lot of driver changes. No. Not really.
Basically, very similar. Gonna be recognizable anyways.
Going to be an exciting series this year.
Mm-hmm.
And that will
Looking
be
forward.
this weekend.
Yes.
Alright, so I guess that's all for this week's episode of Race Tech Radio.
As well, yes.
Yeah, next week we will bring you the results of the Indy Racing Series first race at Homestead. And
then basically the regular RTR episode.
Yes, back to racing and technology news for once.
Yes, haven't had technology news in a few weeks now.
Yes. All right.
Starting to pile up.
So that's all for this week. Goodbye.